Okay, morning everyone. Welcome to the briefing on Saturday, the 2nd of September. Uh, well, not quite the day I thought it was going to be. I thought initially there'd be a much bigger gap between the frontal system here. This is the midday chart and the stuff out here, giving us a very wide slack. Call it high pressure system because there's a sort of hint of a high pressure there. But what we seem to be facing at the moment is a sort of fairly active front here, just brushing up this way, potentially to the east of us, but it's quite moist air. It's drawing in that way, so as a result, things are quite soggy at the moment, and dew points are fairly high, and the temperature dew point split won't be that great today around us. So, as you can imagine in here, looking at that isobars, long way apart. 1020 here, 1020 over Scotland, and nothing in between. So light easterly flow. It could be light and variable at times during the day. The Farnborough TAF is suggesting for most of the day 0406 knots, and they're saying lots of varying amounts of cloud at various times. So during the day, scattered at 1500 feet, and their tempo this morning, first thing, broken at 800 feet, which is probably what we've got. We've got broken at 300 or 400 feet or less, and there's prob 30 broken at 400 feet, and then beyond that, tempo up till about midday, increasing to 800 feet. So at some point it then goes up to 1500 and probably beyond that by the looks of it. And it could be a bit earlier than is suggested here. And they've just chucked in at the end here for this afternoon, potential for showers and rain. That's a prob 30, so unlikely, I suspect, and you'll see why in a minute. Upper winds, they are got an easterly flow, but not much. Down through here, 10 knots over Furrow, and across right across the middle of the country, 5 knots at flying heights. Sandpick's a little bit more promising when you play the animation. Quite a lot of cloud, but it's beginning to break up a little bit. So perhaps that's me seeing the positive side of that. The rainfall radar is picking this little lot up here, and I think this may well drift across here, or the air from it drift across here this afternoon. Potential give a few showers well to the east of us. I'm hoping nothing in our region as it dries out quite nicely. Temperature wise, BBC suggesting 22. It's 17 now. So not really going up a huge amount during the day. Perhaps feeling less humid as the day goes on. But dew points currently are sitting at 16 over most of the south of England, and they're only forecast to go down to about 13. So potential 9-degree temperature split. So certainly chance of some soaring, but much later on in the day. This is sort of midday, 1 o'clock, still showing this sort of 1500-foot cloud base in here. Quite a lot of cloud in there. And then for the afternoon, lines coming apart, looking a bit better with 22 degrees and dew points, say, of about 13. Cloud base up around 3,000 feet, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So Top Meteo, I think, are picking up the same sort of thing. This is their prediction on cloud. It's what we've got this morning, 9 o'clock. Fairly low cloud, sub 500 feet. And then it doesn't really sort of start to lift till about 11 o'clock onwards. and then slowly goes into lower cumulus, low level cumulus, and then by sort of 1-2 o'clock we should see proper cumulus. Bits are spread out perhaps to the north of us as it's just here, but certainly soarable for the afternoon, and that remains the same for a few hours into the afternoon, and it's sort of suggesting sea breeze rolling in, which I would suspect late in the day anyway. So not really getting soarable until about 1 o'clock at the very earliest, and that's 12 at Lasham, not soarable, but by 2 perhaps potential cloud base, 1,500-1,800 feet, vaguely soarable, and then from sort of 2-3 o'clock onwards going up to about, they're saying 1,200 meters there, so somewhere around 3,000 feet for a few hours, and then it all packing up by sort of 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So short weather window, but some nice soaring. Hopefully it'll get pleasant in the afternoon. It's a little bit like yesterday, but the cloud base didn't really get as high as it was 2 to 2,500 feet by the end of the afternoon, so not quite as high as we had hoped. Okay, so that's the general picture. Easterly flow, low cloud to start off with, but getting better, becoming flyable late morning probably, and soarable in the afternoon. Okay, airspace wise, things of note. Bournemouth red arrows are displaying down there, but that's well inside the controlled airspace anyway. Nobody's going to be going down there. Restricted airspace down there. Round Lasham, fairly quiet. The only thing of note, Popham is closed. There's a model flying event all weekend, so please don't land there. Land next door in the Child's Church strip. All the sort of circles around here, I've had a look at all of those. It's equestrian events, paragliding, Battle of Britain Memorial fly past. You can trace it all the way down through there and then heading up this way. The same out into Wales, though it's unlikely that anybody's going to be going up that way. The only other restricted airspace up here is number 50. There's a air show there at a place called Cosby between 12 o'clock and 8:30 in the evening. And that really is about it, folks, on the airspace front. No jet movements or no flight plans filed so far, but potentially there's a King Air going out. There'll be a light aircraft movement, King Air going out on the runway at some point today, because it didn't go out yesterday after its air test. So that's about it. So, folks, I think we can probably leisurely have a cup of tea and then start getting the gliders out at about 9:30 and get ourselves set up on the runway and wait for the cloud to lift up. I'll see you out there.